Today I'm going to learn how to walk like Miss America. Okay, so I'm going to try to do these problems with the book on my head. See how far I can go. Yeah, that's not working. Forget it. All right, today we're going to be solving multi-step inequalities. So this is just like solving multi-step equations, only you're doing inequalities. Now the key thing I told you to remember is that when you're dividing or multiplying by a negative, my question is, what do you do? And hopefully you said you flip the sign. So let's look at some of these examples. We have about 6 examples here. So here's my first one. Negative 11y minus 13 is greater than 42. So this is like where my equal sign would be, right here. So the first thing that I notice that people don't know what to do first is they don't know if they deal with the 11 or if they deal with the 13. But I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to keep trying to tell you and tell you and tell you, if it has if there's an 11 with the y, you have to do the addition and subtraction around it first. You don't do that first. The only time that you would deal with the variable is if there was a variable on the other side, and then you have to either add or subtract to get the two variables together. That's the only time you're going to deal with this first. Otherwise, you're going to deal with the stuff around it. So right now around it is negative 13. It's negative, so I'm going to add. I always do the opposite. Okay, so I know this is positive, so I'm going to add 13. So I have two positive numbers. I get 5, and then that cancels out, and I get a negative 11y. Now here we go. We have y being multiplied by negative 11. So now I'm going to divide by a negative 11. Okay? When I divide by a negative 11, those will cancel, and I'll get y. Now watch, my sign turns around. The only time I turn around the sign is when I divide by a negative or multiply by a negative, and then I have to remember that's negative 5. So how do I graph that? Is my variable on the left side? Yes. So I can graph going towards the arrow, towards the point. Here's negative 5. Some of you guys are still getting your graphs wrong. And I'm going to go this way. There's 0. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Do I have any other w's? No, but I do have two like terms right here, so I have to deal with those first. So right now I'm not going to worry about the w. I'm going to deal with the numbers first. This is a positive 10 and this is a positive 23. How do I get a positive 10 on the other side? I subtract 10 on both sides. Okay? So that's going to cancel out. And then I get 13. And I get negative 2w. Okay, again, this is going to test you to see if you know what the rule is. If I have w being multiplied by a negative 2, so I'm going to divide by a negative 2. What happens? The sign flips. Okay, 2 goes into 13 6 times and a half. Okay, so here we go. Now, your tendency is to want to go to 6.5. We'll make our little number line. So here's negative 6.5, here's 0, right? Your tendency is going to want to be to color that way. But this, says negative 6.5 is less than or equal to w. What that really means is let's flip it around so we can see what it actually means. The point is going towards the negative 6.5. So here's negative 6.5. I make the point towards negative 6.5. As you can see now, w is greater than that. So we're going to color it in circle because it's underlined, and I'm actually going this way. So I've seen mistakes in the coloring, so you got to be careful. The next one, 5 minus 6 times a number is more than 4 times the number plus 45. The directions say write an equation and solve. Okay, 5 minus 6 times a number, so 5 minus 6 times the number, I'll call it n, is more than, I know less than makes an L, more than is the opposite. 4 times the number plus 45. Okay, so here's my problem. Notice I have n's on both sides and I have numbers on both sides. So before I do anything else, I have to look at all my signs of everything, and I have to get these n's together by addition and subtraction and the numbers together by addition and subtraction. So let's deal with the n first, okay? I'm going to bring the n over there so I don't have to do it later. I am going to subtract 4n on both sides. Okay, so notice I have two negatives. When you have two of the same sign, you add the numbers and take the sign that you have. And then I have a positive 5 greater than, that cancels 45. Okay, now what do? I have two numbers right here. I'm going to subtract 5. This is positive. Okay, I'm bringing the negative 10n, don't forget the negative, greater than. Now I have two different signs. What do you do when you have different signs? Subtract the numbers and take the sign of the bigger number. I'm almost done. I noticed n is being multiplied by negative 10, so I can divide by a negative 10. So far, every problem that we've had, we've been dividing by negatives, so we have to flip the sign the other way, and you get n is less than negative 4. So, what does that look like on a number line? Negative 4 is here, 0 is here, it's an open circle, and it's less than. Okay, I have two more examples. Okay, so here's the example. Kels, can you focus in on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so we have the distributive property. Okay, you always got to do that first. So we're going to take care of everything, the distributing, and everything else I'm not going to worry about. When I distribute, I have to multiply 4 by both of these things. 4 times 3t is 12t. And then I've got a positive times a negative, so that's going to be negative. 4 times 5 is 20. Now I'm just going to copy plus 7 greater than or equal to 8t plus 3. If I can combine anything over here first, I will. Notice I have two numbers. They are like terms. You get a positive and a negative, so I'm going to subtract them and take the sign of the bigger number. 20 minus 7 is 13. 20 is bigger, so I'm taking the negative with me. Okay, so all I did was combine those like terms. Now I notice I have like terms here and like terms here. I have to add and subtract to get those things together. I'm going to bring the t's to the left. I'm going to bring the numbers to the right. I'm going to subtract 8t on both sides. I have opposite signs. I subtract the numbers, take the sign of the bigger number. I'm just going to do this up here. I'm going to add 13 on both sides. I add the two numbers, and I get, so that's all canceled, that's all canceled. And then I get 4t is greater than or equal to 16. I'm going to divide by 4. T is greater than or equal to 4. So my t is on the left side, so I can just go to 4 is 0. Greater than or equal to is a colored in circle. There you go. Last one. Again, I'm going to have to distribute. Wait, this can't be right. I must have wrote this wrong. This must be a C, not a Z. Okay, so 6 times 5 is 30, C. Positive 6 times negative 3 is negative 18, less than or equal to 36C. Okay, so I'm going to save myself time and always bring the C to the left. Okay, so I'm just going to do this now. So if I minus 36C to combine like terms, when you minus something and there's nothing left, you just have a 0. That's why I did this, so I can show you what happens when you have nothing on this side. It's 0. Okay, when you have two numbers here that are different signs, you subtract the numbers, the big one minus the little one, but then take the sign of the bigger number, which is negative. Now I'm going to bring the 18 with the 0. Those are like terms. They're both numbers, integers. So that cancels, and I get negative 6c is less than or equal to 18. I'm dividing by a negative. What happens when I divide by a negative? I get the sign going the other way. Okay? My answer is C is greater than or equal to negative 3. The reason why I brought the C over to the left first is so I don't have to do it later. Here's my number line. Here's 0. Here's negative 3. It's greater than, which means all my answers that I can fill in there are bigger than. All right. I will see you in class. Bye.